Are you looking for some clones of some popular niche brands that cost a lot, such as Xerjoff, Montel, Amouage, and even Kilian's? Well, stick around. Today I'm gonna give you 10 of these fragrances. Now some of these fragrances I'm quite sure, maybe some you heard of, and I'm also quite sure there's a lot in this list that you probably never heard of and you didn't even think that a clone existed for these popular brands. Now how I'm gonna rank these fragrances: first, it's gonna be performance. It has to perform well. It's gonna be the closeness of the fragrance. And it also gonna be the scent profile, meaning that I love the scent profile of the original, and I also love the scent profile of these clones. But these clones gonna be very similar. I'm not gonna give you any kind of percentage because they're kind of judgmental. But I'm telling you, get these clones and you won't be disappointed. Also, I'm not gonna rank these in any particular order because I think all of them are killer bargains. The most expensive probably was around $60, $70, but most of them range around that $50, $40 mark, and you can find some even cheaper around in the 30s and 20s. So stick around and I'm gonna bring these fragrances to you. First on the list is coming from the house of Ivory Route, and some of you probably heard of this fragrance, and that is Dupes Elegante. And this fragrance is cloning Xerjoff Naxos. Now this open up with some cinnamon. You're gonna get some of that lavender. Then later on you begin to get that honey, you get that tobacco. That's really a dry tobacco. You're also gonna get some lemon notes along with some of that vanilla. Now this is sweet, slightly spicy, and very vanillic. Dupes Elegante. Now some more from the line that I didn't include in this list are Violet, which is a clone of Acento from Xerjoff. Spices, which is a clone of Ivory Route from Xerjoff. And Blue Oud, which is a clone of More Than Words from Xerjoff. If you want to learn about these fragrances, I will leave them at the end. The only one from this line that I wasn't really crazy about, not because it's not close, but I didn't like the scent profile, and that is Violet. Now coming up next, this is a fragrance that you probably didn't know existed for Montel Oud Tobacco, but if you follow my channel, you would have known. But that fragrance is from the house of Azar Cigar Oud. All of these are very close, but I think this probably does it better than the original. Now when it opens up, you're gonna get a lot of citruses. You're gonna get some jasmine. Then when it dries down, you're gonna get that tobacco. You're gonna get that honey. You're gonna get some patchouli. Now this is very sweet, very creamy, done very well. One I think you should check out from the house of Azar Cigar Oud. Now coming up next, this is cloning a popular Amouage fragrance, and that is this Overture Man. And it surprised me how similar this is to it and how close it is to it. And that's coming from the house of Kilian, Parish Corner, and that is Overdose. Now in this, you're gonna get some amber, you're gonna get some warm spices, and it's something that giving it like a smoky note, and that's latrimon, but it's not listed. But it's something smoky, kind of incensey. Very close. This is very spicy, very smoky, kind of sweet, and it's very resinous. One I think you would enjoy. Overdose, Kilian. Now coming up next, the original I think is kind of a love-hate from the Tom Ford line, but I actually like this fragrance. And the clone is from Pandora Scents, and that is Fabulous Noir. It's cloning Effin' Fabulous from Tom Ford. Now when it's open up, you're gonna get some of that lavender, you're gonna get some of that clary sage. Then in the middle, you're gonna get some of that almond that's buttery smooth. Then also you're gonna get some of that leather at the end, along with tonka and vanilla. Now this is smooth, it's creamy, slightly spicy, and a little leathery. One I think you would enjoy. Fabulous Noir, Pandora Scents. If you're liking this content so far, please consider subscribing, hit that thumbs up, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comment and I will answer them. Now back to the video. Now next up, another popular fragrance from Tom Ford line, and that is Ombre Noir. And that fragrance is Just Jack Ombre Suede. Now surprisingly, I think I paid around 20 bucks for this, and it smells incredibly good. I mean, it smells so much like a niche fragrance. I was very surprised when I received it. Now this opened up with some cardamom, some patchouli. It has some amber in it. Then that's when you get some of that leather, which is kind of like a suede leather. You're also going to get some jasmine, and you get some leather. You will smell really great wearing this, and I guarantee you it's very close to the original. And that is Ombre Suede from Just Jack. Now this is leathery, it's sweet, and it's also spicy. One I think you should consider adding, especially for the price point, Just Jack Ombre Suede. Now this next particular fragrance, it's been done over and over, but once you get one or two, I would just say one. What's the need to keep going out buying different clones of this fragrance? Once you get this one, you'll be set for that fragrance. So I know a lot of YouTubers go out and say, go get Untold or whatever the fragrance might be. Get this fragrance, man, and let that hunt be over with. And that's coming from the House of Xerjoff Amber Oud Rouge. And this is a clone of Baccarat Rouge. Now when this open up, you're gonna get some jasmine, you're gonna get a big blast of that saffron. You're gonna get some sweetness probably from vanilla. And you're also gonna get the cedar note in the base. Now this is spicy, it's woody, and it has a slight bit of sweetness. And that's Amber Oud Rouge from Xerjoff. Forget the rest of the clones, get this one, and be set. Coming up next from the house of Frederic Malle, and that is De Moon. That fragrance is Emir from Paris Corner. As you notice the theme, Paris Corner makes some nice quality fragrances in their lineup. And that is from the Emir line, Identity Oud Crescent. Now, when it's open up, you're gonna get some of that rose. You're gonna get some raspberry that makes it kind of fruity. Then that followed up with some saffron, some leather, and some patchouli. Now, I included this in one of my top floral scents recently, and I received a couple of compliments off of this. You get past that first initial blast, and this becomes so lovely. Now, this is floral, spicy, and a slight bit leathery. And that is Emir Identity Oud Crescent. Now, coming up next is another great clone house, and I dare you to find any difference between this one and the original. And that is Ministry of Oud Satin, which is cloning Oud Satin Mood. Now, when it's open up, you're gonna get some rose, you're gonna get some spices, you're gonna get a slight bit of vanilla. Later on, that's when you get a little bit of that violet leaf. Now, this is floral, very sweet, and a little powdery. And that is Oud Satin, Ministry of Oud. Now, coming up next, this is cloning a popular brand from one of their popular fragrances. And that house is Parfums de Marly Pegasus. The fragrance that's cloning it is Xerjoff Royal Stallion. I said I wasn't going to give a percent on none of these, but most of them are 95% close. And this, I think, is probably a 1-to-1 clone. Now, when this open up, you're going to get some of that heliotrope. Later on, that's when some of them almond notes begins to come to the front. It's also accompanied by lavender, some jasmine. Then when it dries down, you get some of that vanilla, you get some of that amber, and you get some sandalwood that makes it very creamy. Now this is powdery, has some sweetness, kind of spicy, and you get this nutty vibe. In the house of Xerjoff Royal Stallion. Last but not least, this is cloning a house from Kilian, one of their popular fragrances, and that fragrance is Angel Share. I know it's a lot of clones for this fragrance. I think Lattafa does one, but if I had the choice, I would choose this because of the quality of the ingredients. Also, the presentation is very nice, but this particular one does it very well. And that fragrance is coming from Emir line, Fire Your Desire. When it open up, you're gonna get some boozy notes of cognac, accompanied by cinnamon. You're gonna get some tonka, along with some vanilla and sandalwood that makes it sweet and very creamy. Now this fragrance is sweet, it's creamy, it's boozy, with a little spice. One I think you will enjoy, Fire Your Desire. Alright guys, I hope you found this information useful. If you did, leave a thumbs up, consider subscribing to the channel, help it grow. And if you want to know about some of these clones that I didn't go over, check out this video, and I will see you soon. Peace.